Many people assume that starting a business after 60 is harder, but in some ways it's actually easier. Since I started selling vintage online, I have realized that there are a few advantages to being older in this business that people rarely talk about. Today, I want to share what those advantages are and why this stage of life might actually be one of the best times to start a vintage reselling business. Now, the challenges are real, but the freedom that comes with starting later in life is something that I didn't really expect. And some things I say in this video might not fit into everyone's opinion. That's okay. My purpose in making this video is to encourage people like me who want to jump into something entirely new after their first career is behind them. If that's not you, you might find this interesting too. I'm Carol, and I'm over 60. In fact, I will be celebrating my Medicare birthday in just a few weeks. I've had an Etsy vintage shop for over 3 years, and I've been thinking about the topic of this video for a while now. I don't know if it'll resonate. I don't know if it'll offend some people, but I think sharing what I think about vintage selling and creating videos on YouTube for vintage selling is probably a really good thing for me to share about right now. I know that most of my viewers out there are over 55, and I know that many of you either have a vintage business or want to start one. It is my hope that this video will be an encouragement to you. Younger resellers often start with pressure that older individuals just don't have. They need to replace a full-time job or as a second part-time job because that primary paycheck just doesn't stretch as far as it needs to. They feel like they have to scale quickly, source more, list more. And they feel like they need to maximize their income, whatever it takes. Starting after age 60 often looks very different from starting out younger. Less pressure changes the entire experience of building a business. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there over 60 who want to push their vintage business as far as they possibly can. I'm just saying that's not where I am. And I think there are also many of you out there who just want to enjoy selling vintage, not stress out about it. You may already be retired or near retirement, which means you may be living on investments that you made throughout your career or a pension in addition to Social Security. And the very fact that you are retired by around age 60 probably means that, like us, you planned ahead and made thoughtful investment choices during your working years. And you saved when you really probably wanted to go out and spend, but you saved anyways. I'm still so grateful that I was actually able to buy teacher years of service very early in my teaching career, something that cost me back then, but it allowed me to retire at age 55 with a full pension. I'm sorry for those public school teachers for which that option is no longer available. It was a great benefit to us who started teaching in the 80s and 90s. Income from reselling may not be required for survival. I'll be totally upfront and tell you that if I didn't have my income from Etsy, we would still be able to buy groceries and pay the light bill. And if we're being honest, many of us over 60 are not selling online mostly for the money. For me, I need something enjoyable and constructive to do, and I'm super glad that instead of pursuing most activities that actually cost me money, I have found this pursuit that actually pays for itself and gives me a little extra income at the same time. That difference creates advantages that people rarely mention. Like these, advantage number 1. If you're over 60, you have had a lot of life experience with the types of items that people decorate their homes with and use in everyday living and entertaining. In fact, much more experience than sellers who've grown up in a throwaway economy. And this is a huge advantage in vintage selling. We have had decades of living with household items. Now, I've always loved Blinko glass, and I think this is because my mother, my grandmother, all of my aunts always had a lot of Blinko glass in their home. And the primary reason for that is I had an uncle whose father was an artisan at Blinko glass during the 50s and 60s, and so I'm sure there was some employee discount there, but we all loved Blinko glass, and the family just had a lot of it. Also, I used to eat off the same dinnerware at my grandmother's houses that I have collected and I use in my own home. I also have various Fenton pieces that I've been collecting my entire adult life, and the list goes on, and I'm sure your list does too. We recognize quality and craftsmanship. We know a quality crystal piece or art glass piece just because of the way it feels when we hold it in our hand, its weight, or its clarity. We know popular china patterns and probably even their names from the last 50 years because either we or our friends registered for them when we got married and received them for wedding gifts. We have an appreciation for needlework because we've probably done it ourselves, and we know how much time goes into creating something really beautiful. And many of us, like me, even grew up sewing some of our own clothing. We might have to depend on the internet to help us with the details of vintage items, but for the most part, we are not the ones who have to Google lens everything we pick up in a thrift store just to figure out whether or not it might be worth something. And we understand what lasts versus what doesn't. You and I have seen trends come and go, and we can pretty much predict what will become valued and what will be forgotten. We know the difference between trendy and timeless, because when you've seen styles come and go for decades, it becomes much easier to recognize what has lasting value because you've been there and you've seen it withstand the test of time. Advantage number 2 is, as someone 60 or older, we probably have access to more vintage items naturally without having to go out and source than younger resellers do, because many of us are downsizing our own homes or helping our parents who never got rid of anything downsize their homes. This summer, I am going to begin listing a lot of my personal vintage collection, not stuff that's been passed down to me, but stuff I've collected over the years that doesn't really mean as much as it used to me, because I, like probably many of you, are going to be selling our home in the next few years, and we need to get rid of all that extra stuff. Your own home is probably filled with quality vintage items. What looks like a house full of things can actually be the beginning inventory of a vintage shop. Now, you might not have to feel the pressure to get out and thrift or shop the antique stores all the time because you already have a house full of potential listings. And advantage number 3, we over 60 entrepreneurs are less likely to have been a part of that hustle culture. We don't feel the need to list on 5 or 10 different platforms constantly. I can't even imagine what it would be like to have to keep up with that. A few years ago, I applied to sell on a new platform, and I got into that, and I started listing stuff, and it was so different from Etsy that I thought, I don't need this. I'm just going to sell on Etsy. Also, we don't feel the need to chase every trend or produce endless social media content. I have built my entire Etsy business with just my Etsy listings in my shop and a few Pinterest pins once in a while. I don't feel any pressure to share my business on Facebook, and I don't even have Instagram or TikTok. As retirees turned resellers, we are free to choose one platform like Etsy and really get to know that system. We can build workflows to fit our real lives. Now, I do process orders from the previous day every morning, but if I don't feel like listing anything on a particular day, I don't. If I want to take 2 whole days and source my heart out, I can do that. My time is my own, and it's not dictated by the needs of my shop. We can focus on quality listings. And I've mentioned before how I think of my shop as a collection, not just a bunch of items to flip. I can mess around with my photos until I get them just the way I want them, or revise my descriptions until they say just what I want them to say. In other words, we are free to run a calm, sustainable business. I believe in doing things well. In fact, I believe in doing everything I pursue with excellence, but I don't feel pressure to do everything. And there's advantage number 4. As I've mentioned, many of us have financial positions that younger resellers simply have not reached yet. We might not have to depend on Etsy sales from week to week for our daily living expenses. We have the ability to wait for the right buyer and price things appropriately and wait for the right buyer to find it. We don't need to panic and feel like we need to run Etsy sales or ads or discounts. I've learned that eventually the right person will come along. And we probably don't feel as much pressure to liquidate inventory quickly. Now, I have mentioned trying to scoot out older merchandise from my shop a few times, but that inventory that I've clearanced out has been from 2022, 2023, maybe the beginning of 2024, because I do give items a good amount of time to be found by the right buyers. Now, this kind of freedom creates better pricing discipline. I can price things the way I feel like this should be priced and not just try to price lower than other listings that I see online. Because I realize that even if some other item sells before mine, someone else in the millions of people buying online every day will buy my item eventually, as long as I price it fairly. Now, that other item might sell before mine, but mine will sell too. And that allows me to maintain better margins in my shop and be more profitable in the long run, I think. This freedom also allows me to better curate my shop. You can, like I have, build a collection to offer rather than accumulate a wide assortment of items to flip. Sometimes the biggest advantage in business is simply having the time and ability to be patient. And advantage number 5, we have an absence of pressure to sell, and that allows us some lifestyle flexibility. I can use vacation mode or extend shipping times, like from my regular 2 to 5 days to 7 to 10 days whenever I need to, and my business won't fall apart because I put it on hold for a couple of weeks. The customers will come back. That allows me time flexibility to travel, to spend time with my children, my grandchildren, my extended family, and to entertain visitors. We've had a lot of friends from home come down and spend time with us in Florida this winter, and I've been able to take that time away from my business with no problem. My shop supports my lifestyle, not the other way around, and that truly is a gift to older resellers. So, to sum it up, when you start a business like selling vintage online later in life, you can build it slowly and thoughtfully. We over 60 have so many advantages that we need to appreciate. If you've been thinking about starting a small reselling business, don't assume you're too late. In many ways, this stage of life may actually be the perfect time to begin. After all, the vintage world is really about history, craftsmanship, and appreciation for things that have lasted. Many, or dare I say, most people assume business is something you start when you're young. But that does not have to be true. One of the things I've come to realize is that starting something new later in life can be freeing. You've already built your life. You've already learned a lot. You understand what matters and what doesn't matter. And who better to recognize that than someone who has lived long enough to see those things endure. In some ways, this stage of life gives you permission to begin again. It gave me permission, but with a whole lot more wisdom than you had the first time around in your career. And I think that's the part of why reselling vintage feels so natural, at least for me, at this stage in life. Vintage items have lasted, they've endured, they've been part of someone's history. So if you've ever thought about starting something like this, a small vintage shop, a creative project, a business of your own, don't assume that time has passed you by. In many ways, this might actually be the perfect time to begin. Thanks for being here today.